Hey guys, Sweetkid here with a new CSR2 video. In today's video, we are going to take a look at Season 47's race pass, telling you guys what cars you should take, what cars you should consider, and what cars you should just avoid. So without further ado, let's hop right into the race pass and start discussing the cars up for grabs this season. Now, let's start with the free tier. And in the free tier, there is one obvious choice I would tell you to take, and that choice would be the Dodge Challenger SRT Demon 170. The reason why I say this car is the best pick is because of all the three cars, this is the only one that can achieve a semi-decent low PP high evo tune. Now the keyword here is semi-decent because unfortunately I don't have my Demon 170 in a good state to be able to toy around with all the upgrades and the tunes, but from what I've seen from other people's tunes, this car can attain a so-so life race tune. It's better than nothing, so as a result, it gets the most priority over the other two cars. And moving on to the second pick I would tell you to take, that would be the Hennessy Venom GT Spider. This car would be the second pick for a few reasons, and the reason number one is that this is a dyno beater if you tune it right. If you tune this car with certain upgrades in a certain way, this car can achieve a negative 999 evo tune, and as a result, it can run many seconds under its own dyno time, which could be very useful for winning 200k bets if that's your sort of thing. But then again, a car like this is also very difficult to drive because if you don't want the car to be bumped, you have to slow down just enough to win but not slow enough to lose, and slow enough still that you're not running under your dyno time. So as a result, it can be a bit tricky to drive, and that's why I didn't rank it as the first place pick. Also, this car will be used in an upcoming Nightfall Directive event for the SSC Ultimate Aero. So if you plan to do that event and you need the Venom GT Spider because you don't have it yet, you could also take it now in the race pass, and you won't have to spend gold keys on getting this car in gold crates when the event rolls around. And that leads us to the third and final pick, the Honda LB Works NSXR. Unfortunately, this car is the most useless of the three when it comes to live races. The reason why I say so is because the Honda LB Works NSXR is only good if you max it all the way out and you keep running the car all out every single time. As I brought up with the Venom GT Spider, if you keep running your car all out and run under your dyno time, you get the car bumped very quickly, and as a result, it loses its competitive edge in live races. So as a result, that's one point against it. And the other thing is that it also cannot get a low PP high evo tune, so don't bother trying to find one. I tried with it, but I couldn't find one, so as a result, it's getting the third place ranking when it comes to the cars you should take. But if you value a car that can be used in events, the LB Works NSXR also isn't a bad pick for that because it does get used in certain Liberty Walk themed events every now and then. It's not very often, but it certainly gets used in those. So if you value those, rare as they might be, you might consider taking the LB Works NSXR. And that wraps up the free tier, and let's move on to the paid tier. Now, in the paid tier, there is also one obvious choice, just like the free tier, and that choice is the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute. The reason why I say so is because the Jesko Absolute has a good life race tune. It's certainly not the best and also not the worst. I would rank it around tier A or B on my life race tier list from what I've seen other people being able to pull off of this car. It does run on Koenigsegg parts, which could be a bit of a challenge to get. So as a result, all in, it could be a solid life racer because Koenigsegg's historically have all been mostly good at life races. So as a result, the Jesko Absolute takes first place. The second pick is the Hennessy Venom GT Spider World's Fastest Edition. The reasons I say this is the second pick are basically the same as the free tier's Venom GT Spider. In essence, they're basically the same cars, just that this one's a purple star car and goes a bit faster. You can also achieve a minus 999 evo tune. It can be dyno. It's also eligible in the upcoming Nightfall Directive event. So all things said and done, this is essentially identical to the free tier's Venom GT Spider. But it won't be a priority if you are taking the Gold Star Venom GT Spider in the free tier, because that one will be easier to upgrade because it runs on bronze keys, versus this Purple Star one, which will need paid crates if you don't rely on events too much. So as a result, I would say it's the second pick all around, but if you're taking the Venom GT Spider from the free tier, this one is not a priority. And that brings me to the third pick of the three, the McMurtry Spearling Goodwood Edition. Now, this car used to be a Flash event car, and ever since then, it hasn't been used in anything else. And I don't recommend this car because it cannot get a low PP high Evo tune from what I've seen. And also, this runs on McMurtry parts, and McMurtry is one of those brands with just Purple Star cars and are very difficult to upgrade. So if you have a car in a brand like this, McMurtry, Devel, Zinger, and so on, with just Purple Star cars, this car is going to be very difficult to upgrade. And because the McMurtry has not seen any use in any events, it's also a Flash event car with Purple Stars, and it happens to come from a brand with only Purple Star cars. All these factors tie in that make this McMurtry Spearling Goodwood Edition the third pick, because you can take it, yes, but it's going to be very difficult to upgrade. And a car that's very difficult to upgrade is going to might make you want to invest real money into the game, and that's where they rope you into spending money. It's when the car gets too much to upgrade, you start buying paid crates to speed things along. So as a result, that would be the third pick when it comes to the paid tier. Now, to recap very briefly, in the free tier, I would say take the Dodge first because it has a so-so life race tune the others don't have. Second pick would be the Venom GT Spider because it's a dyno beater and it's also eligible in an upcoming Nightfall Directive event coming this month. And the third pick is the Honda LB Works NSX-R if you care about eligibility in certain events. And moving back to the paid tier, the first pick would be the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute because this is a good life racer from what I've seen. And the second pick would be the Hennessy Venom GT Spider World's Fastest Edition for the same reasons I talked about the Gold Star Venom GT Spider, being that it's a dyno beater and it's also eligible in an upcoming Nightfall Directive event. And the third pick would be the McMurtry Spearling because of its difficulty to be upgraded. Now, with all that said and done, that wraps up my thoughts for Season 47's Race Pass. If this video has been helpful to you, do consider leaving a like, commenting, and subscribing to my channel because all of these things really help me out and fare against YouTube's algorithm. With that all said and done, thank you so much for watching, take very good care of yourselves, and I will see you in my next video.